Hey everyone, welcome. BruinBound here. In this video, I'm going to be going over how to defend yourself on Deity. There's a big jump in Deity from other difficulties in terms of the aggressiveness of the AI, and you actually have to start thinking about what you want to do to defend yourself when you make that leap. The first step to set up a proper defense is knowing who your neighbors are and where an attack is likely to come from. Venice in the top right is not too threatening, nor is Ethiopia, who is a bit far away. Spain, on the other hand, has a tendency to be pretty aggressive. We have a lot of negative diplomacy modifiers. For instance, they covet our lands in bright red, which is generally a bad thing, and they didn't like the late worker steal I did from Brazil. Because of this concern, I decided that I actually want to put an archer in my build queue to at least have some defense in case something happens early. As we jump ahead a couple more turns, it's actually pretty likely that Spain is about to declare war on me. They are starting to put units on my borders, and they have the largest military. It's important to keep checking who is the military leaders. You can see that from the demographics page. So there's a couple things to do. One is you can try to actually bribe them to go to war with someone else. In this situation, they want almost my entire economy. So it feels a little bit like a waste, so I pass on that. The other thing you can do, if you have the gold for it, is you can actually just give them some gold to actually make them like you. There's this little diplomatic bonus that you get that says we've traded recently, which really means I've screwed you over in a deal. As you see, it's bright green. If you do 6 gold per turn, you get the bright green, which is better than the dull green. It means they like you a little bit more, and it may deter them from declaring war on you. If they do declare war on you, which is the case in this one, well, the deal is broken, so you only really lost the 6 gold from that one turn. And as you can see, I go into defense mode. I need to get another archer out. I have some gold for that. 2 archers is a little concerning, but we'll have to make do with this. I still had not gotten construction as I was going for the quick national college, and it does bite me a little bit. However, as mentioned before, it's a little early, and the AI is usually a little weak in terms of their actual invasion force. But it's not the easiest one, and I barely am able to hold them off. As you see, I mainly want to focus on melee units so they can't take the city, but that's really all they're bringing, so I need to pretty much kill everything that's coming across. Towards the end of the war, I've been able to keep most of them from actually attacking my city, but I almost lost it. This is why you probably want 3 or 4 archers out sooner. At the very end, I finally got my 3 archers, and I was able to kill the last unit, and every single turn you should be checking to see if they'll make peace. Even if they're just steamrolling you, they may actually offer peace. And in this situation, I'm able to get it. She didn't really have the opportunity to take the capital, though she was pretty close, and it shows if you're not prepared for an early war, it can actually come back to bite you. A little later in the game, I do get construction, and I upgrade these guys to composite bowmen as soon as possible. Usually 4 composite bowmen will hold off any attack an AI is going to mount before turn 100, and after that the crossbow should be able to defend yourself until about turn 150. The next war declaration comes around turn 140 from Elizabeth. I don't yet have all of my units upgraded to crossbows, even though I had the technology, and luckily I have a spare resource that I'm able to sell to one of my friends for 240 gold, which is the fair price you get for it from a friendship agreement when you're selling a luxury, and I'm able to upgrade all of my guys to crossbows and help defend against this attack. Luckily, the city is actually pretty defendable. There's not a lot of places they can actually attack from, and it's a slow trek to actually get over these hills and jungles to get to the city. So I'm able to kind of pick them off. Usually the best strategy is to keep those ranged units just a little behind the city and attack any of the attacking units before they can really do a lot of damage. As you can probably see by now, both attacks were pretty much defended by using ranged units. They are the strongest units, especially on defense in Civ V, and it's very important if you're going to have a defensive force to have ranged units be the bulk of that. The war is pretty much winding down here. I'm basically getting some more experience. There's really no hope of her actually taking any of the cities, though she does still have a lot of units around. But I've killed most of her army at this point. I ask for peace every turn. She doesn't give it this turn, but I do actually grab the peace deal in the following turn right here, and this is where I'm actually taking out her last couple units, just getting experience on my own units. And with the last few units killed, she only has a handful of units left. Clearly the attack is dwindling down, and I was able to successfully defend myself with about 4 to 6 crossbowmen. So overall defense, if you want to defend yourself and you don't want to do a lot of bribes to try to deter the AI from attacking you, if you can get 4 composite bowmen out early and maybe up to 6 crossbowmen up later, you're pretty much going to be able to defend yourself from any attacks coming from the AI, and this should help you advance through the game.